Sam, sentient sessions, caught back in session. I have a message for you. Are you ready for it? I'm gonna pull out the Soulful Woman deck. I'm feeling real Soulful Woman deck right now. I'm going to do the Soulful Woman deck, and I might pull an Angels of Abundance card. Well, I say might, but I'm going to do it. I just felt like saying might. Did I ask you how you feeling? How are you feeling? Oh my God, I'm so beside myself. How are you doing? Are you doing okay? Are you doing great? How you feeling? Are you having a good day? Are you having a good day? Are you having a good day? You should be having a good day. I think the next thing on my list of things to do to I want to do my readings with my friends, with a friend around. Like, I want to do my reading in front of somebody, like do this, but with like someone around. Like, I want this to be a part of my life, and I want to be open about this being a part of my life. This is who I am, you know? I want to be open about this, about me, about intuition, about my spiritual beliefs. My spiritual beliefs be mad different. I ain't even gonna lie. I refer to God as she, because that's what I believe. I believe God is an energy. So I could call the God he, I could call God she, I could call God it, they, the butterflies God, the trees God, the water's God, like especially the water. But I find God in everything, and God is in me and God is in you. So that's how I believe things to be. And I want to talk about it more, definitely. I have been talking about it, but I want to talk about it so much more. Because, I don't know, for me, I just had to de-center a patriarchal view of God, especially the way that we've been taught it. Because it's just been taught to us as this form of like control, fear, because that is what was used to control and instill us with fear, so that we would never make moves to really free ourselves. You got to think about it. A lot of our concepts, especially as black folk, if you black, a lot of our concepts of God has been given to us through slavery and colonialism. So I'm reclaiming my view of God. Because if you spiritually control the people, you really control them. Because once you tell somebody who God is, you tell them who they are. You tell them who they are in relation to God. And you tell them what they're capable of. That's why, again, now we go over to just women. If I'm talking to a white woman, it's cool, whatever, talking to a Hispanic woman. But as women, we're not taught that we are seen in God, and that God truly sees his self in us. We're taught that we're less than God. How can you, God's creation, be less than God? And that's why I'm feeling this fucking Soulful Woman deck. That eclipse came, and all I wanted to do was connect with my womb space. Like, I wanted to connect with my womb. I wanted to connect with my breast. I just wanted to connect to being a woman. Like, or you know what I'm saying? I'm still a being in a body. That's how I feel most of the time. I'm just Sam. But I will not, there's no way I can separate myself from the identity of a black woman. This is my life. Like, so I embrace that, and I really I'm grateful for it. And like, yeah, I'm feeling real feminine. I'm feeling real, yeah, loving from the inside. That's the card that came out. It is a blessing to give myself the gift of my own presence. I feel very happy, igniting my own joy. Attuning to the highest good in myself and others ignites my natural joy. And again, when I say things like, you know what I realized too, when it comes to like the society and just the way that patriarchy has been, or superiority in a sense, like again, God is taught to us as this concept of superiority. The way that it's taught to us, it makes us feel as though, like, it makes who is superior feel as though they're under attack or being victimized by another view or another way of putting things. So I know with me saying this, like, oh, I see God as a woman, I see God as a black woman, because I'm a black woman and I am one with the creator. I am made in the image of God. So of course God is a black woman, just as God is whoever you are. God is creating in your image. You know, you are created in God's image. Flip it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we get a little like, damn, Sam, what are you talking about? But anyways, someone can see this and be like, so do you say, are you saying that are you saying that I am inferior? Even though clearly I'm saying that there is a concept, there is a vision of God that is put on this pedestal that makes everybody else feel as if they're inferior to it or subjugated to it, victimized by it. But when I say I am made in the image, then now you're victimized. Now you feel bad. Now you feel like you're under attack. And that's not what I believe at all. I believe like God is everything. There's no life without God. Like, what is this? What is any of this? We are literally, my thoughts, we're living in the mind of God. We are all fragments of thoughts. Our lifespan is what? Like a fragment in the history of time. Time is an illusion. So we should be able to explore whatever this is. But if we're not exploring whatever this is, we're still struggling with the same man-made concepts, and we're still trying to figure out ourselves in this man-made as experience. Life was not always the way that we see it. So why can't we explore what it was before, or what it could be potentially? We keep ourselves stuck and stagnant with these very, what do I want to say? Archaic views. They're archaic. What am I supposed to say? It's archaic. It was the views were put on a pedestal for a specific purpose, and that purpose is dying. Everything as we know it right now is dying. It's not going to last. It can't last. It's impossible for it to last. And the cards have a lot of like sacral, I feel like the womb of God is healing. That's what I want to say. The womb of God is healing. How could we dare call this earth Mother Earth and then subjugate the woman? We're not following history. We're not following history at all. How can you dare call this planet Mother Earth and then subjugate the woman? What? That doesn't make no fucking sense. How can you dare? How deep do I want to get? Because I'm just like, listen, you got to follow human history. Like, I know there's so much of it that we never know. And again, especially I'm talking primarily to black folk. There's so much history we don't know before slavery. They don't tell us about no history before slavery. They don't tell you how Africa was before slavery, because they don't really know, or they do know and they hid history. We can hear about Mansa Musa, but there was so many others. We learn things in bits and pieces. We hear about the kings who were actually women. We hear about them bits and pieces, but like we're taught them more so as a myth or as a one-off thing, when history there's always, when you look at a certain time period, even if you're looking at different places, they will always have some type of connection, because prior to whatever this is, we moved with the flow of the planet. The planet flow. Even this, whatever exists right now is still within the flow of the planet. You know what I'm saying? We just flowing. We're learning the hard way. I feel like we will have to. And I don't think it has to be a bad thing. I feel like sometimes when it comes to like prophecies, especially when it's taught by, Christian groups and things like that, those prophecies are taught with so much fear. The end is the worst thing ever. But things have to end for other things to begin. There is no rebirth without death. You can't have a new system without the end of an old one. My headphones. You can't have a new system without the end of an old one. So, you know what I'm saying? Everything that is happening because there is something that we can create. And there's something that I feel like we're going to be cornered into creating. I feel like life as we know it is not going to exist this way forever. We see it already. There's movements happening around us that are threatening to the system as it is. And it's movements especially happening with the womb. Like people are like, there's a country where they're no longer having children and other places are following suit because we're understanding how vital of a role we play, even though history that is taught to us tells us that we are simply existing to be means to a fucking end. No. So we are reclaiming our purpose and we're actually stepping into our individual purposes so that we can better serve the collective. Because what we were told initially is that we're just childbearing sheep and shit like that. No. Fuck no. No. Everyone's understanding there is so much more to me than what the society wants from me. And that's why I say you turn to the Black woman, because we had to understand that. Where people make you feel inhuman, you have to claim your humanity. You have to stand up every day. You have to wake up every day and tell yourself that you're beautiful. You have to wake up every day and tell yourself that there is a purpose for you being here. Where you were meant to feel inhuman, you had to give yourself humanity. Because no one was going to tell you first. No one was going to tell you that you were important. Even though everyone leaned on you. Nobody was going to tell you. Nobody was going to let you know. So as we recognize that we are the ones who decide our purpose, as we recognize that, everything has to follow suit because we were so much more vital than we were taught to be. And again, pay attention. So yeah, 7. I start with myself, and this is loving from the inside. I start with myself. As I practice turning my loving attention inwards rather than outwards, I nourish a loving presence within my own body. I might start by simply closing my eyes and putting my attention on the area that feels central within me. My heart, my solar plexus, or my belly. With each breath, I allow my awareness to rest there, away from outer distractions or pressures. My inner space is sacred. It is a blessing to give myself the gift of my own presence, to turn my focus inwards and sense into the depth of my own essence. Within me pulses a delicious life force that holds its own unique frequency of subtleties and sensations. This is my practice of loving from within. To feel united within is to embrace the aliveness of all my senses. Sometimes, like, when you're not allowed to speak, you only have the option of going within. When your words aren't welcome, you find yourself, because the only person you learn that your perspective of your words matters the most. So it makes it easier to speak. It makes it easier to stand up when you know you're about to get backlash, when you know that what you're about to say isn't going to be received well immediately or isn't supposed to. But things are changing. Things are changing because you changed collectively. There's a group of people listening, they changed. They changed collectively. And even though it seems so personal, our collective change has the power to move mountains. It starts from within and it wakes up others. That's what I'm saying. If you go back, there has to be similarities within different cultures. Like, there has to be certain ideas that are shared because that's the collective thoughts. Now they try to control the collective thoughts. Society is in a position where we were meant to be herded a certain way, but that is just not how things work. Like, you don't hurt us and then you ignore the call from the planet. She doesn't give a fuck. Could they have told us that there was going to be an earthquake in New York? Could they have told us that? No. You can't control the shifts of the planet. She's shifting, been shifting. And we're following suit, and it's materializing. So, ignited my joy. Attuning to the highest good in myself and others ignites my natural joy. When I hold loving intent for someone dear to me, something magical happens. I ignite my own joy and happiness when I care about another and send them blessings of peace, goodwill, and ease. Now I nurture my capacity to be kind to myself as well as to others. I regularly include myself in my well wishes, my goodwill, and my loving intentions. Since we are intimately connected, my own happiness grows from this positive attunement to myself and to others. May we all be safe and at peace and live with ease and grace. Going broke. Ooh, baby. I'm pulling cards and that's running out of energy. Masculine going broke. This system is running it's running on empty. This system is running on empty. It can't last. It's bound to fall apart. Societies, kingdoms, civilizations, they all fall and something new births. That's how I'm feeling. That's the message that feminine. Have faith. And then we have a realized person. That is what happens. We don't live in a world of patriarchy. As much as it's holding on for dear life, it's meant to fall apart. Fuck this shit. What was this world without our wisdom? What was this world without intuitive guidance? What is this world? Lost. We're so lost. We just live every day in fear because we can't exactly lean into the understanding that this planet wants to provide us. Intuitives pick her up. We feel her shifts. We know she's changing. We welcome her change. There is no rebirth without death. We mourn the loss of a system we thought we were supposed to play into. We grieve. All of us had ideas that were fed to us. And we grieve those ideas knowing that they never served us, really. The more that we go within, we understand we never was supposed to fit in. This was never supposed to be the life that we lived. We were supposed to have big goals. I think about that even where I consider in my personal life, what would children mean to me? What would partnership mean to me as I understand myself and not what is expected of me? What is sex? What is sex to me? What is sensuality to me? What is beauty to me? Nobody dictates those things for me. I'm an individual who is meant to show up in my own light and embrace the light of others. I don't expect nobody to be me. I can't be nobody else. It's not individual. Like, we have to embrace ourselves as individuals in order to come together collectively and actually truly value the uniqueness in each other. That's how I feel. Wishing evil. Take a leap of faith. We had to. Intentions in the right place. There's no comparison. Communicate your feelings. We live in a system that requires us to compare and to compete where there is no comparison. It is actually insanity. And I understand within the system, existing within the system, that is what you pick up and that's what you're meant to do. But why play the game when you can exist outside of it and you can live a life of flow? Because your path is already there. Your mind already has the power to, you know what I'm saying? Like, your mind is already connected. You know what you want to do within your heart. Do it. Unlearn. It takes, oh, bitch. I threw the cards. But the card that came out, and I'm assuming that means do not pull anymore. But this is the last card, and it's my creative power. I invest in my own creative potential. I experience my female creative genius. There's nothing I love more than being a Black woman. There's nothing I appreciate more in my life than being a Black woman, being an African woman. I love the way that we connect to each other. I love that I can talk to somebody from the Dominican Republic and share similarities. Hell, I'm saying again, I start there. But I had so many beautiful relationships with women from the Middle East. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing more beautiful than being a woman. And I don't know what it's like to be a man, but I feel like that's a beautiful experience if they were to really embrace it. If they were to truly embrace it, they would have maybe a good time. But as we can see, they hate themselves. They hate their lives because they haven't embraced their feminine. This even applies to feminine. Like, this is like, again, that's why I say I'm a being in a body. We have masculine energy and we have feminine energy. You cannot have one on top. You cannot have one. I don't see a world where there's just feminine energy. I've met toxic feminine, like I've met feminine energy in its detriment. Masculine energy in its detriment. Toxic masculinity, toxic femininity. You need balance. There needs to be balance. So we can't have a world where we shut out feminine energy, where we don't embrace women, where we don't value women and female, like people who move in their feminine, because there are people who move between both worlds. We can't have a world without embracing energy, without embracing intuition and flow. We can't have that. My creative power, my female creativity and genius are endless resources that I'm only just beginning to tap into, explore, and develop. I am bursting with ideas and visions. I am a passion storm of creativity, eager to live my dreams and transform my life and my world. I'm stepping out and making my mark in undreamed of ways, birthing from the creative fires of the unleashed feminine. I am waking up to my gifts and talents, as well as to the contribution I can and will make to the future of my world. It's time to express my creative potential and power. We're waking up. We're waking up. It was only a matter of time before we woke up. And now that we're up, there is no stopping us. If God's for you, who can be against you? You get what I'm saying? And that's where I go back to saying, my God is the Black woman. My God is a Black woman. My God is a Black man. My God is a man. My God is a woman. My God is the flowers, the trees, the water. It's all and everything. I am you and you are me. I see myself within you even when you can't see yourself in me. So yeah, that's Sam Sentient Sessions. Sessions adjourned.